Wala si Kate? Anak mo buhay ya?
Yeah. My God, there's a pillow here. It's so comfy here. Yeah. So
Ako mo sit da kay ako lang
excuse me, John. Look. Mega, look at the candle.
Very good. Nako.
No.
Oh, bitaw pa. Oh. Oh, tabang mo. Paano ang blue? Sige na. Ilok lang.
Lalo na kung Kate?
Oh, ihapon ni Papa. Kay mga
Na,
tata. Yeah, picture na tayo.
Why did he
Sibutan na to itong table na.
Bilang, bulita lang ako.
Soft lang good na.
Oo. Bulita na. Tabangin ko.
Sige, dire.
Wala pa.
No. Stay here.
Glenn, kayo unya pa. Dali mo na.
Tata.
I-edit na lang.
Record, dali, record.
Sorry. I-edit na lang.
Dili ba na?
Chico.
Asa mo ka? Ulo. Magpapalusa.
Chico, tulotun. Almost kumuro, Chico.
Chico, pinaguna.
Asa mo ka dong?
Mara ako tapat kong baby.
Okay. Unsa ba ni video? Picture.
Picture pa niya.
Okay, sige.
Pwede man yung kuan.
Sige, nag-picture.
Wala tayong video ng happy birthday. Kanta.
Pero, ay mag-video na. Ano pa? Oy,
Yan lahat.
ball striker.
Pag daw, try pa din ni kuan na. Kuan
Ibalik niya
Get
to.
away, going.
Kundi ko. Ako yung kapaha. Kundi ko.
Ibalik niya to. Yo.
Ha?
Kare. Itong dito ay. Nung 360 ba? Butang dito sa
That's
kuan.
fine. We're gonna be sideways.
Kana.
Fine.
Butang dito. Paul, butang dito, Paul. Ya, itong, ya na.
Ano? Ga-record na niya sila.
Sige, sing na kami birthday.
Sige. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Lil. Louder. Birthday to you. Louder. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Wala. I got it. You got it.
Pwede ka. Ganan kayo.
Again. Ikaw dyan. Sige, again.
Sige, sige.
Ikaw, pancakes.
You blow.
No fire.
Oh, no fire. Magic.
Fire.
Magic.
Make fire.
You need fire?
Dali, dong. Si record dong.
Sige, lumba mo, no?
Ay, isa ha.
Okay.
Ay, isa.
Ayan na.
Happy birthday, Riker! I-blow na!
Sige. Uy, pahungaw. Oh, wow! Love is that, love? Yeah, love kami.
Oh, record. For look, record.
Sige.
Not yet. Ibalik pa.
Again.
Slow motion. Oh, balik. Record.
Come on, Come on, Dora.
Ready, get set,
Ready, set, go. Ooh. Hold on.
Where's your band name?
Pana?
Let's go. Go.
News.
Wala mag-model, anan kayo po?
Mo, nakakawin sa slice.
Pagkaon mo na. Oo, ako tiwasan ako. Uy, pagkaon dito mabuk na, oh.
B-side mo ko dyan.
Bisay ka.
B-side.
Dali, oy. Oy.
Kaon ka?
Handa na.
Uy, pasal.
Asa yung phone ba?
Oh, Chico. Importante kay Chico.
Murag siya ka birthday.
Manaman ko eh. Putik.
Wala ka.
Muna ko eh.
Wala pagkaon ha, kung di ka
Isa mo na ko isan.
Ako kampapa. Imasad ma?
Papa na ko isan.
On, di mo ka ma. Mapasal ka.
And I jump here. I will cross you, okay, Mika? You jump first.
Preparing.
And I already ate.
Ano ma'am?
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hindi na ba mukhaon na
Kang Charlie na lagi magawas. Ay mo di, kika may very mo di.
Look, eat grapes.
Yan mo include ang data dyan.
Oh, wala na ko makuha.
Mama,
Ikaw na lang.
can I have...
Ikaw na lang.
Did you eat already right?
What?
Scale of 1 to 10 based on our categories. Vivian will be judging based on technical difficulty. Nikki will be grading the wow factor, and I am, of course, the expert of all things adorable. And we'll rate the monkeyness. All right, are you two ready to make the tough decisions?
Let's do it.
Let's dive back into our top 10. We got our slackline and canine right here.
Honestly, I was pretty wowed when I first saw him doing this because I've tried it before. It was so difficult. I'm gonna give this dog a 9.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead and piggyback on that high score because I was pretty impressed. And in terms of technical difficulty, it's hard to do it if you're human. Imagine being a dog doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a 10.
Wowed me. I find the technical difficulty high. Cuteness. It's a 5.
It's cool. It's more of a cool thing.
It's cool.
The balance beam, walking dog. I mean, this for me was for sure a 10 out of 10. I was just so blown away because I know how difficult it is to walk on a balance beam, let alone balance something while on a balance beam.
I'm here to judge technical difficulty. Not only is it hard to walk on the balance beam, but to balance cups with liquid in them. That's going to be a 10 for me.
Oh,
That's hard.
Well, I just imagine this dog bringing me my morning coffee on a silver platter, so I think it's cute. For me, it's a 7.
The dog riding the pony. Technical difficulty. This is hard in itself. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.
I agree, there's no saddle. And 2 animals doing one thing together is so cute. This is a 9 for me.
I have seen dogs ride horses before, and so, you know, it didn't quite wow me. I'm going to say 4.
All right, our little kitty cat delivering or stealing the toast. I'm still not sure which one it is. Either way, this is cute. For me, this is a solid.
He was delivering, not stealing. The owner was having his meal, and it was waiting for his toast to come out of the toaster, so I'm going to go ahead and give this to
I think I was concerned that the cat was just going to steal the piece of toast. I'm going with a 4.
Oh, you guys love the puppy.
Oh, the mini pup doing tricks.
Yes, technical difficulty. He is a little tiny.
This one's fresh.
It's fresh, exactly. I'm going to take a lead on this one. Technical difficulty. I'm going to go ahead and give this little guy an 8.
I'm going to have to go with a 7.
It's a 10. You guys, look at him. It's the cutest thing ever. It's an obvious 10.
Yeah. The bear climbing the tree, honestly, not wow at all. Going with a 1.
I wasn't really impressed So I'm gonna go ahead and give him for technical difficulty. He was very precise with the branches. I'm gonna give him a 3.
Oh my goodness. To me, this is super cute because the bear climbs up and literally just collapses onto the tree. 3 or 4 branches. This is...
Kalimut na di ko ano, wala na. Mabitaw pero Thailand ba na kuan? Thailand ba na product? Naantay katrabaho na mga taga-Thailand. Kabaw niya ang kabaw ko mga. Kabaw na to kaya hinatag ninyo nga mga katong poison. Isya mo, oh Ruby, what's that? Di ako sa'yo pangitaon kita. Ay, kaya ulit ka tayo. Di ko alam, pasini ba? Pasini.
He just needs to make a mama. Touch this gun.
Kuan ka na. Kunya, si Sanjita dyan, nakailan ka Sanjita? Namalin mo na sila dito.
Mana dyan? Okay na sila.
Ilang balay dako. Pastores ba?
Kuyawa na din sa kanon sa sa papa nagsabi ito siya dawat siya.
Mega, go my back, Mega.
Sanjita dyan ba, nag-rent sila kuan. Sa deep cove.
Again.
Iya kong ipakita sa kanang balay. Hindi kaya kinaasya na alam ko sa dagat. Kanang hindi, kanang walkway ba?
Can I do it?
Muto silang pasini o si kuan sa pang, kailan ang pang? Kanang ano, bubok ko pang.
Do it, Mega.
Silang to have afterlife check. Diretso sila nga to ni Kuya sila sa data. Muto yun sila. Sunod ko yun din natin sila.
Matapagtapos sila sa
able to kuhan ka mo. Kumanta kung hindi na Sanjita nga. Sanjita, how much do you pay for rent? Sa katong balay, dako kayo ba? My whole side is my hair.
Naganda naman ko dito lang sa basin kaya naman. Right there na.
Ayun.
Look and right there na. Isang pagdaso na.
Lagi.
Ka mo rin pa sa pinapasin. Look and right there.
Kaya naman ko sila nga kami. Anak ko siya nga. Future man, just not he was going from Europe. We might as well just kuhan ka na. Spend it here.
No, let me stay here like
Get
this.
a tour
I have to
with
get
them here
like
because
this.
there's so many places to
Two of us.
explore.
Kuhan mo ginakot ka na exotic mo ginakot na sa Europe layo na sila.
Done with that.
Ikaw mo na si
Mommy, I'm going to do this.
Microphone. Microphone. You know what is microphone for?
Adeline.
Microphone is for what? Singing? Oh, singing?
Singing.
Langgod ko. Ay, tatlo na mag-partner niya. Break it.
Like that?
Siguradong di-check yung pasyente siya.
I have 2 hands. The
Pero
left
kapag
and the
report
right. Hold them up right. Is that singing? Okay.
Yun, hapon yung report. Kung Adeline, I go nag-break. My patients are 2:10 and 2:30. Okay, bye. My patients are alive. Pagkuha na kong report na ko. Nag-report. Full code. Ay, ulit ka ng buwan.
Ikaw mag-display na ako.
Adeline, ikaw na. I only need to know everything.
Open this way. Go, Mega. Mega.
And here's some early footage of these machines. Here's a little bike.
Nagkatrabaho ka sa 14th floor?
Yeah, po first day. 14, half ortho, half BMT man. Yeah, katong ortho ko, dito ko naka-work si Scott o si Paul sa una. Why are you here? Yeah.
Alam ko na sa kalsay ko, ano kayo?
Mas nindot pa ginagawa sa una din. Sa retire. Pero yung last few months, burn out. Kasi yan naman yung tagalaguan.
Imbes na i-train ang
Paul, ako gipatanaw sa papa tong ano bang Malaysian airline na iwa.
Oh, dito
Actually, tanawad ko sa MST 70. Indot kayo. Indot. Tanawa, Paul.
nasa buwan.
Hindi kay ang ilang uncover.
Attached to the body.
So, asa man?
And here's some early footage of these machines. Here's a little bicycle that can balance itself. We actually got a stock bicycle and added our own computers and actuators in order to develop behavior of this bicycle. So this is the balancing part of the bicycle, but we also want to make it possible for it to jump. So here we've been experimenting with the jumping part of the bicycle. So there's a mechanism attached to the body, which you can think of as the body weight of the person riding the bike. And we can throw that into the air or use it to absorb the energy of flight as the bicycle goes. And we're also working on a 3D version of jumping, and eventually we'll take all these pieces.
I got it from Manga.
Okay.
I'm breaking it.
30 times 200.
Tuwa ka passengers to? Pero
Yes.
ako daw, ako yung mapoy.
3 million. Dawat ko yan. Okay. Okay. Ang sarap gusto.
Broke na.
Huwag ka namatay. Yan, hindi na ka mag-what if.
No.
How could a massive aircraft filled with 239 people simply vanish from the face of the earth? It might seem impossible in the modern era, but this is exactly what happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 on March 8, 2014. There are countless theories which try to explain the mysterious disappearance. Everything from a remote control hijacking to exploding fruit in the cargo bay have been suggested. But what if the truth is even more disturbing? What if somebody on board Flight 370 was responsible? This is the chilling story of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. And it's a story that might finally help us find the missing plane. It was a clear night at Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia. Monsoon season was coming to a close, and calmer conditions had arrived in the region. This calm extended to gate C1 of the satellite terminal of Kuala Lumpur International Airport, where a Boeing 777, operated by Malaysia Airlines, was preparing for its journey to Beijing. The aircraft was being fueled and loaded with food, cargo, and 227 passengers for the 6-hour journey north. As the passengers walked through the jet bridge, none of them could have known that they were about to become a part of the greatest mystery in the history of aviation. Despite the sheer variety of theories surrounding this night, one scenario stands head and shoulders above the rest. This documentary is one of the first tellings of a plausible version of that story in its entirety. In the cockpit of Flight 370 were 2 pilots, both of whom, in a matter of days, would become the subjects of intense scrutiny.
Malaysian 370, first level.
370, we are ready. 310
That's First Officer Farid Abdul Hamid requesting clearance to Beijing from air traffic control. This was a special flight for the 27-year-old. Flight 370 was his last training flight before being signed off to fly the Boeing 777. He had joined Malaysia Airlines as a cadet pilot 7 years previously, in 2007, and had flown Boeing 737s and Airbus A330s for the airline before beginning training on the 777 a few months previously. He had established an excellent performance record for himself at this time, and was assessed to be well above average during his progression through the ranks of the airline. In fact, he was doing well enough in his training that the airline considered it safe for him to be paired with just one captain for this flight, rather than the usual two. And sitting to his left was that captain, 53-year-old Zahari Ahmed Shah. Zahari had joined Malaysia Airlines as a cadet pilot in 1981. In this time, he had built up over 18,000 flying hours. This was an immense amount of experience, and it made him one of the most experienced pilots in the country. Zahari held a senior position at the airline. As well as being responsible for taking hundreds of people around the world as a 777 captain, for the last 7 years, he had also been training pilots to fly the 777 and examining them to decide whether they should be granted their license. Zahari was described by colleagues as jovial, knowledgeable, and a true aviation geek who spent his spare time flying remote-controlled planes, paragliding, and inviting colleagues to his home to practice procedures on his home flight simulator. But in the scenario which we're now exploring, there was much more to Captain Zahari than would be suggested by his disarming exterior. At just before 12:30 that night, 8 minutes ahead of schedule, the jet bridge was removed and the massive aircraft was pushed back from the gate. It was now a sealed vessel, operating under its own power and untethered to the outside world. On board were 227 passengers, 10 flight attendants, and 49 metric tons of fuel. Some would later speculate that the captain took on an unnecessarily large, or even a suspicious amount of fuel, about 30 minutes more than was required for the distance. But the truth is that Malaysia Airlines mandated all Beijing-bound flights to take on 30 minutes of additional cabin fuel, so there is nothing suspicious here. Zahari nudged the 777's throttles forwards and began taxiing out to runway 32 right at Kuala Lumpur. It was procedure at Malaysia Airlines that the captain should taxi the aircraft on the ground, while the first officer handled the radios. Once the plane had reached the runway, the first officer would take over and fly the aircraft to Beijing, with the captain handling the radios. As Zahari taxied out to the runway, the passengers settled in and tried to get some sleep. They would soon be in for a rude awakening. At 20 minutes to 1 that morning, the aircraft lined up at the runway. Ahead of it were 4 kilometers of concrete and a dark, open sky. Captain Zahari pushed the enormous Rolls-Royce engines to take off thrust and then handed over control to First Officer Farid as the 777 began thundering down the runway. Within moments, Farid lifted the massive aircraft into the night sky and Flight 370 began its journey north. As the plane climbed out, Zahari contacted departure control.
Malaysia 370 is sumabay. Climb sa level 180. It's in the side, direct, direct to Ikari. Okay, level 180, direct Ikari, Malaysia 370.
As well as clearing the flight to climb to 18,000 feet, the controller had given the pilots a shortcut, allowing them to go straight to a waypoint further along their route, known as Igari. This waypoint, Igari, is kind of an unusual one. It's one of the few waypoints on the planet which is bordered by a total of 5 different airspaces, namely those of Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Singapore. This fact will take on an eerie significance in the scenario which we're about to explore. The plane continued climbing out as normal, leaving behind the bright orange sea of lights that was Kuala Lumpur. Its flight plan would take it northeast over the Malaysian peninsula and then out over the South China Sea. Before long, the departure controller handed Flight 370 off to Lumpur Radar Control, who was responsible for a higher altitude portion of the country's airspace. Zahari dialed this frequency into his radio set and made contact with the new controller. So far, everything was going to plan. It was a clear, moonless night. The aircraft was in good condition, and there was little other traffic in the vicinity. All the pilots needed to be fully on their way was the final clearance from air traffic control to climb to their cruising position. And at about 1:45 that morning, that clearance came. About 20 minutes after takeoff, Flight 370 had reached this cruising altitude of flight level 350, or about 35,000 feet. When it did, Zahari made a routine report to air traffic control. About 6 months later, he made this report again. It wasn't necessary to report the second time, but the fact that it did doesn't really tell us much. Anything from sleepiness to simple forgetfulness could have been responsible. Up until now, for the passengers, Flight 370 had been about as routine as a flight can get. The flight attendants were making their way through the cabin with the meal service for those who stood away. However, most of the passengers were asleep by this point. What happened next is the subject of much controversy. For this video, we'll apply Occam's razor, which holds that the theory which requires the fewest assumptions is most likely to be the right one. The following account is not definitive, but it is the most consistent with the known facts, and it is supported by some of the world's leading authorities on the subject. At 19 minutes past 1, as Flight 370 neared the waypoint at Gary, Malaysian Air Traffic Control told the crew to contact Ho Chi Minh Air Traffic Control, as they would soon be entering Vietnamese airspace. Much has been made in the media of this radio transmission by the captain. That's because, technically, a pilot is also supposed to read back the radio frequency they've been assigned, so the controller knows the pilot has read it correctly. But pilots who know an airspace well, like Zahari did, sometimes don't read back the frequency. So there was truly nothing unusual about Zahari simply saying goodnight as he switched over to Ho Chi Minh. What is strange, however, is what happened next. And here is where our scenario begins. Just seconds after saying goodnight to Number Control, Captain Zahari asked First Officer Farouk to go back into the cabin and get them both a cup of coffee. They had 5 hours of night.
It's hot. Ayun, ibalik ito ko.
Punch!
Balik ito. Slowly.
He held his career in his hands. Now, sitting alone in the warm cocoon of the cockpit, was a man who had been rehearsing for this night for over a month. Every step, every movement had been planned with the utmost precision. And it had to be, because Zahari was trying to pull off the impossible. He would now try to make one of the world's largest, most modern jets vanish from the face of the earth.
I can see everything! Again, God! Again! Again!